Okay, so we'll start at the top of our mats and just have your feet like hip width apart or shoulder, and just relax your shoulders away from the ears. You can close your eyes if you want and just root down through the feet. Just feel the pad of your feet evenly. Feel your big toes, your pinky. You can say hi to Manny if you were looking at the screen. And just relax the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. And now really close your eyes and just focus on the breath. Finding your center. And take a moment or two to set an intention or dedication for your practice. The reason why you came to this class on your mat. And then take a deep breath in. Exhale out. And the next inhale, drop your shoulders just a little bit more. And then exhale, drop them a little bit more. And if you want, you can open your eyes. And then just inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. And clasp the hands at the top, interlace the fingers, pointer finger up, and then draw the shoulders away from the ears. And just be here. Grow long through the rib cage. And then inhale, exhale over to the right side. Your eye gaze can go up to the ceiling or just have a neutral eye gaze towards me. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale over to the left side. Once again, the eye gaze can go up to the ceiling or just out in front. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bring your hands into cactus or arms to cactus. Really pull the shoulder blades together. Lift up to the chest, chin up. Staying here, or kind of sending your heart up to the sky a little bit more and giving yourself a gentle back bend. And inhale, lift those arms up to the sky. Bend the knees and gently forward fold into ragdoll. And once you're in ragdoll, you can have your arms just dangle long, or you can clasp opposite hands with opposite elbows. You can sway from side to side. Or you can just find stillness. You can shake out your head. And then just find pure stillness. Allow the body to become heavy here. And just imagine that the vertebrae are just finding space here. They're reopening. And then inhale, bend the knees, and inhale, lift all the way up to stand. Lift those arms up to the sky. And then clasp opposite elbows with hands. And just lift up through the rib cage here. Allow the shoulders to relax. While you're here, imagine that your lungs are expanding and contracting, finding new air. And then gently lean over to the right side. And then come back to center. And then over to the left side. Inhale, come back to center. You're going to keep your right elbow where it is, but then you're going to take your right hand back behind you. You're going to wrap your left hand on your right elbow a little bit tighter and pull the shoulder down and away from the ear. And pull your chest forward and up, and then put your head on your forearm and press it back. So you're opening up. And then other side, so come back into that clasp. And then left elbow bends, right hand really presses into the elbow. Lift up through the heart center, press your head against your left forearm. And then inhale, come back to center, lift those arms up to the sky. Just be here, cactus your arms. You're gonna rotate from left to right, just like a little washer machine. Just keep going and try to keep your hips kind of where they are, neutral. And so the spine is the one that is moving and not your hips or your pelvis. Become that little washer machine, going at your own pace. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together to stabilize the shoulders. And then from here, you keep rotating, but move the arms right beside you. So now you can kind of just take your arms back behind you and slack yourself if you want. Just keep going. Get that motion, the spine, the arms. Keep going for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back and just close your eyes once more. Notice the difference. Notice any subtle changes within the body. You feel all 10 toes press into the mat. The whole foot press into the mat. And inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. Bend your knees and forward fold right back into ragdoll. Letting go here just a little bit more than you did last time. Letting gravity help you. And then plant your hands on the mat, or if you have blocks, use the blocks, and just step back into tabletop. So coming down to all fours, really spread your fingers apart underneath your shoulders. Your knees are stacked underneath your hips. Your toes can be tucked or untucked. And inhale, lower the belly for cow pose. And then exhale, round through the spine for cat. And just keep going with these two motions. Connecting with the movement and the breath. Maybe you want to stay in one pose longer than the other. Maybe you want to incorporate other movements like shaking at your hips, rolling at your shoulders. Whatever needs to happen here to open up the body. Just keep going for a few more breaths. And then from here, come back into tabletop. Really draw the low belly in as you extend your right leg back behind you, keeping the toes on the mat. And then extend the right heel towards the back of your mat. Giving yourself a nice little calf stretch. And then lift your right leg up and just hold it out. You can point the toes, you can flex the foot, you can even create little circles with your ankle, just getting that motion. And then find stillness within the foot and flex your foot as if you're kicking the back wall. Stay here or extend your left arm out in front, thumb pointing up to the sky. Holding here. It's a gentle stability and strengthen pose. And lower the hand, keep the leg lifted and just take it over to the left side and look over your left shoulder. Your toes are grounded. Holding here. And then inhale, come back to center and take your right leg over to the right side. You're really rooting down through the right foot completely. It's like directly out of your hip to the right side. Staying here on your hands or coming down to your forearms. Saying hello to your groin muscles. And if you want, you can sink your booty to your left heel. So now you're leaning back towards the left heel if you want. Or you can just stay more upright. Either one, yogi's choice. And if you've leaned back, come back into that neutral state and then come back to your hands. Inhale, root down through your left hands and lift your right arm up to the sky. Holding here. And then draw that right hand back towards the mat. And then lift your left arm up to the sky. Noticing there's a difference between both sides. And then lower back down. Gently lift up the chest, lift up the arms. Cactus your arms here, lift up to the chest, give yourself a back bend. Inhale, come back to center. Lower your right hand down to your right leg. Lift the left arm up and over to the right side. Looking up towards your left hand. Holding here. Inhale, come back up to center. Look down and lower your left hand directly underneath your left shoulder. And then lift your right arm up to the sky. You can stay here Or you can lift your right leg up. You can play with it too. You can lift it and lower it just to get that hip open. You can just find stability because we're here for another 5 breaths. And then lower your foot down if it's lifted. Look down to your left hand and lower your right hand over to the left side. And now walk your hands back to center. And then just draw the right knee back underneath the right hip. Notice how the hips feel. Just stay here. And then when you're ready, inhale. Exhale, extend the left leg back behind you, keeping the toes on the mat. Heel towards the back of the mat. Calf stretch. And lift the leg up. Point the toes, flex the foot, make circles with your ankle. Getting the feet and ankle just opening. And then find stillness, flex through the foot as if you're kicking the back wall. And extend your right arm out in front, thumb pointing up to the sky as if you're hitchhiking. Holding this pose, breathe into this pose. And then keep the leg lifted as you lower the hand down to the mat. Lift your left leg up and over to the right side. Toes are grounded as you look over your right shoulder. Inhale, lift the left leg up and over to the left side. Root down through those left foot completely. Stay on your hands or come down to your forearms. And it can be different on both sides. And just embrace the difference. So maybe on this side you have to stay on your hands. Or maybe you can come down to your forearms. And then if you want, send the booty towards the right heel, sinking down. And then come back upright. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. I'm going to really root down through the right hand and lift the left arm up to the sky. Look up towards the left fingertips. Lower the left hand down. Root down to the left hand as you lift the right arm up to the sky. Lower the right hand down. And then gently lift your arms up to the sky. This time we're going to clasp our hands behind us, interlace the fingers together, and then draw the knuckles down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and roll the shoulder heads back. Chin up to the sky. Inhale, come back up, lift those arms up to the sky. Lower the left hand down to the left leg, lift the right arm up and over to the right or left side, sorry, and look up towards your right hand. Ugh. Inhale, come back up to center. Lower the right hand directly underneath your right shoulder. Lift the left arm up to the sky. You can keep your leg lowered, or you can lift the left leg. You can play with it by lifting it and lowering it, or you can just keep it kicked out. Yogi's choice, because you're here for another 5 breaths. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the leg down if it's lifted. Look over to the right hand. Lower your left hand over to the right side and then walk your way back to center. And then gently bring the left knee underneath the left hip. Staying in tabletop and just noticing how the back feels, the hips feel. Notice what is going on. And we're going to now come into puppy pose. So we're going to keep our hips and knees stacked. Our toes can be tucked or untucked. We're going to start to walk our arms out in front, lowering our chest down to the mat or as far as it can go. Your forehead can rest on the mat. Maybe some people can bring their chin to the mat. You can always place a block or a blanket underneath your head or your chest. But really press into your hands, elongate that middle finger. And then slowly come back up into tabletop. Taking, once again, just a few cat-cows or any movement here that feels good to you. Just be rolling out the rib cage. It could be coming into child's pose and then back up to tabletop. This is your time to just connect to what your body needs. And then find tabletop. Come down to your forearms. And so your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. And you're gonna lower the belly like you would in cow pose and bring that chest forward, chin up, tailbone up. And then exhale, round through the spine. Like cat. Inhale, lower for cow. Exhale, round through for cat. And just keep going with these two motions. And maybe you want to stay in one pose longer than the other. Or maybe you just want to stop and just remain in a still forearm tabletop. Listen to the body. And then find stillness. You're going to keep your arms where they are as you walk your knees back and finding your way into Sphinx pose. So your legs can be together. They can be hip width apart. Or you can even try to take them wider, as wide as the mat. And just stay here. Pull the chest forward. Chin is parallel to the mat. And from here, we're going to bend our knees, flex the feet, point the feet. So this just creates a deeper kind of little back bend. Just keep working the ankles. And then lower the knees, lower the legs. And then lower all the way down to your bellies. So taking those elbows out. Bring one cheek to the mat. Your arms can go out to that T shape. And then bring the opposite cheek to the mat. And then bring your chin to the mat. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders, or actually slightly behind the shoulders. Bring those elbows in and peel the chest up off the mat for cobra pose. The elbows are still bent, coming into your body. Bring that chest forward, chin up to the sky, or just neutral. And then lower the chest back down. Keep the elbows where they are, bent. Forehead is to the mat. And then inhale, lift up the chest once more. Cobra pose. If you want, you can lift the hands up off the mat for a hover. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Pull that chest forward. Lower the hands. Tuck your toes. Press yourself up into tabletop. From here, just stay in tabletop. Allowing the spine to recalibrate. Look forward. And then come up into a kneeling posture off your calf muscles. Just like you are kneeling. Inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. Grow long through the rib cage. And then cactus your arms. And then inhale, lift those arms up. Draw the bellies in to stabilize the core as you just keep coming into cactusing your arms and then straightening your arms. Just keep going at your own pace. Keep going. And then from here, come bring your hands beside you. Clasp your hands behind you. And interlace the fingers, lift up the chest. Chin up. And then come back into tabletop, into child's pose. Closing your eyes, remember your intention or dedication. And staying here for child's pose. Breathing. And come back up into tabletop. Come down to your forearms. Walk your knees back, Sphinx pose. Holding the Sphinx. Notice if you're clenching the butt and let it go just a little bit. But draw the tailbone down towards your heels. Now lift up your chest just a little bit, and you're going to lift up your elbows just oh so slightly. You're going to take your right hand and slide it underneath the left arm. And then you're going to put pressure on your right shoulder. So you're leaning all the way down to your right shoulder. Both hips are on the mat still. You can place a block or a blanket underneath your right ear or cheek if you need to. But it's like thread the needle, but on your belly. The left arm can stay extended out long, or it can go back behind you, reaching for your right hip. Then extend the left arm once again out in front of you. Lift up the chest, Lift up the right arm and then come back into Sphinx pose. Staying here. Lift up the arms or the elbows just up slightly, and then slide the left arm underneath your right arm, lowering the left shoulder down towards the mat. Both hips remain on the mat. And then lower your your left ear or left cheek to the mat or to a block. Your right arm extends out in front or goes back behind you for that bind towards the left hip. Take your right hand out in front, lift up the chest, unravel the left arm from underneath you, and knee back into Sphinx pose. Noticing the shoulders and how they feel. And then lower the chest all the way down. Bring one cheek to the mat. Your arms can go out to a T shape or just beside you. And then rotate to the opposite cheek. And then bring your forehead to the mat. Bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Press yourself back up into tabletop. Now look forward. Come into a kneeling posture. And all you're going to do is look forward and place your right foot out in front and say hi to Sammy. And then inhale, lift those arms up to the sky. Low lunge. Holding here. You can stay more upright, or you can start to wiggle your right foot out in front and lean into the left hip. So lengthening through the left psoas muscle. Holding here. Lower your hands down to the mat or to blocks or whatever you have. Straighten your right leg for half splits. So lifting those right toes up to the sky, pulling the right hip back, left hip forward. Keeping the chest lifted, or you can hinge at the hips and forward fold over the right thigh. Some of you might be able to even clasp the right foot and just hang out there. Or you can just keep the hands on the mat. Lift up the chest. Lower the right foot down. Bend the right knee once again. Inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. Holding this once more. Lower your hands down to the mat and slide the right knee back underneath the right hip, coming back into tabletop. Inhale, lower the belly for cow. Exhale, round through the spine for cat. Inhale, lower for cow. Exhale, round through. Come back into that kneeling posture. Look forward and place your left foot out in front. Stay more at 90-degree angle if that feels better. Lifting those arms up, or wiggle the left foot forward as you lean into your right hip, opening up the right psoas muscle. Keeping your arms here. You can always cactus your arms or bring your hands to prayer if your shoulders start to irritate you. A few more breaths. Look down, lower your hands down to the mat or whatever you have as props. And then straighten your left leg for half splits. Keeping the toes lifted. You can stay more upright, or you can hinge at the hips and forward fold over the left thigh. Keep pulling the left hip back as the right hip comes forward. Maybe some of you can keep your hands on the mat, or some of you might be able to even grab your foot and lean over. But wherever you are in your practice, honoring that. Inhale, lift up the chest. Lower the left foot down. Bend your left knee. Inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. Holding here. Lower your hands down to the mat and slide your left knee back underneath your left hip. Bring your big toes to touch, knees out wide, and sink your hips towards your heels. Walk your hands out in front, child's pose. Remember your intention, connect with your breath here. Can you feel the ground underneath you? Walk your hands over to the right side of the mat. Then inhale, come back to center and walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. Inhale, come back to center. Relaxing here in child's pose just for a few more breaths. Inhale, come back up to tabletop. You're going to come into your kneeling posture. And look forward and step one leg up and then the other, coming into a stand. Then inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. Go long through the fingertips and just move from side to side. You can clasp the hands or just allow the hands to float from side to side. You can take a back bend here. You can cactus your arms. Then come back into Tadasana, mountain pose, Samasthiti. You can keep your big toes to touch, heels slightly out, or you can have your feet hip width apart. So close your eyes. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Feel the current of your own breath, the rise and the fall of the belly, the chest, the throat, the nostrils. Where can you soften the body just a little bit more? And inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. Interlace the fingers together, pointer fingers up. Inhale, exhale over to the right side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale over to your left. Inhale, come back to center. Cactus your arms, back bend. Inhale, lift your arms up to the sky, look down, bend the knees, and ragdoll. Let the arms really dangle here, letting go just a little bit more than before. And then plant your hands on the mat. Step back to tabletop. And then find your way onto your bellies. So just lower all the way down. And then inhale, lift up the chest for cobra. And exhale down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale, lift for cobra. Hold this cobra. Then exhale down. Then flip over onto your backs. And once you're on your back, draw your knees up to your chest. Give yourself a hug. So wrap your arms around your shins or underneath your knees and just roll from side to side. Finding stillness now. Take your arms up to a T shape. Lower both knees to the right side. Eye gaze goes over to the left side, rooting down through both shoulders. And inhale, come back to center. Then roll over to the left side for supine twist. Eye gaze goes over to the right side. And inhale, come back to center. Bring your hands beside you. Legs go up to the sky and just shake the legs out. Wiggle at the toes, the ankles, shake, shake, shake. Then bend the knees and lower the feet to the mat. All 10 toes towards the front. Your feet are hip width apart. You're gonna inhale, peel the hips up off the mat, bridge pose. And then exhale back down. We have 2 more. Inhale, lift up into bridge pose. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale, lift up into bridge pose and hold this. You close your eyes and catch your breath. Lift up the hips a little bit more. Maybe you want to shimmy your shoulders underneath you. And when you're ready, lower the hips all the way down. Bring your feet to the width of your mat and windshield wipe your legs from side to side. Releasing the low back in a gentle manner. And then from here, we're going to come into reclined butterfly pose. So bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Your arms can go beside you, out to a T shape, or even above your head. Slowing down the breath. Closing your eyes if you want, or just gaze up to the sky. Slowing down the breath just a little bit more. Letting go just a little bit more. Softening the body. Elongating the breath. And you can stay here for your Shavasana, your final resting pose. Or you can extend your legs long, taking up as much space as you need to on your mat. Allowing the arms to float down beside you, palms face up or down. If you have a blanket, you can put a blanket on top of you. If you have a pillow near you, you can put a pillow underneath your knees or your head. Closing your eyes and taking as many deep breaths as you need to. And then settle in. Even turn off the lights if you have lights on. Elongating the breath, and then softening even more. Knowing that all the work that has to be done is complete. There's nothing more to do than just to be here. Knowing that you are safe and secure and grounded. That you have support around you from the universe, from the earth, from this community. One of humanity's greatest anxiety is losing what we have. It is healthy when fear of loss helps us take steps to protect what we have worked hard to maintain. But it's unhealthy to continue to be afraid of something we can do nothing about. We need to remember that focusing our energy on fear can actually create what scares us. And holding tightly to what we have keeps us from participating in the universal flow of abundance and leads to stagnation instead. We can only control our thoughts and our responses. So gaining proper perspective may be key to conquering such fears. The letters of the word fear can be used to stand for false evidence appearing real. Fears of being separated from something or someone we feel we need to have. For our security or happiness can come from delusion. That is a distorted way of understanding ourselves and the world around us. When we understand that possessions are only representations of energy, we are then able to change our attention and perspective and place it in the right and proper place. We can stop fearing loss of money or success because once we know how it is created, we can also always create more. We can stop fearing loss of material things because we realize that we are not the source of our joy or well-being, but only icing on our cake. And when we understand the energy of love, we need not hold on to something in the fear of losing that. For we know that this emotion does not diminish, but rather it expands. By focusing our light on our fears, they are revealed as mere shadows that disappear in the presence of mind and spirit. We can choose instead to direct our thoughts and creative power towards things of true value, like love, abundance, peace, passion, and joy. These are energies that are always available to us when we place ourselves confidently in the flow of abundance. So take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out. Start to move your head from side to side. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Give yourself a nice long morning stretch as if this is the very first time you've woken up today. Then draw your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your shins, and give yourself a nice big hug. Roll from side to side, and then find your way into fetal position on your favorite side. Remain in fetal. Remember your intention or dedication if you set one. And then use your hands to press yourself up into a comfortable seated position, eyes closed. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a moment to say thank you to yourself for showing up this evening. Take a moment to say thank you to those in this virtual world with us. And then I want to take a moment to say thank you to the 5 of you for being here this evening. It was truly an honor to guide you through your practice. Through this, we are one, we are connected. And meet fear with love and know that abundance from the universe is always there with you and for you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. I bow down to you. Namaste.